So this is my structure deck of my dinosaurs since ever the 2017 band deck came out. So I run 3 of these rabbits. Since now you're allowed to have 3 of them. So they're really good. For me, I like having them because you can summon them, and when they're summoned you can banish them to bring out any of these guys right here. They're normal monsters and they all have the same name, and you can bring out 2 of them. I have 3 because I like having 3 of them. They're very useful to my deck. So one of the main monsters are these guys right here. Pretty much what he does is when you summon him onto the field, you can add him a dinosaur type monster into your hands or send it to the grave. I mostly like adding it to my hands mostly. So if I have to, his second effect is he can, when a dinosaur type is on the field, he can target it and destroy it. That effect comes in really useful to these guys right here and these guys right here, because his effect is when he's destroyed is by an effect, and that is effect right there. You can summon a level 4 or higher type dinosaur onto the field. He's a level 4 or lower dinosaur onto the field, and these are really good used to all together. Then I of course had to keep one of him in, so he got banned. Now you're only allowed to have 1 of him in your deck now. What his effect is, he's pretty much a hand trap where you can, when you have a dinosaur type on your side of the field, you can throw him to the grave and he can negate any trap spells. You can't activate any of those, or monster effects. You cannot activate any of those against the dinosaurs for that turn. And then when he's in the grave, you can throw him out for the banish, and you pretty much banish him. And if I pretty much have these guys in the grave, I can banish like all 4 of them, and I can bring out a level 4 or lower. Then I have 2 of these guys. You can have many as you guys want, 3. I like having 2. So their effects are when they're summoned, they have 2,000 attack and 1,200 defense. When they're sent to the grave, and then when they're banished, these guys can be special summoned onto the field. When they're banished, they can be special summoned on the field with 2,300 attack. But the bad thing is they cannot attack straight ahead, like direct attacks. Then your main monster is him. I like having 3 of him because I have more chance to getting him into my hands. For which you cannot summon or tribute summon for him. You have to special summon him. So pretty much how to special summon is you have to have 2 level 4 dinosaur types on the field. You have to throw them both out for him to come out. Or you can use this guy to bring him out. Then onto your spells, and so you want to run 3 of the world cards. These are really useful. Their effects are when they're activated is all dinosaur types lose 500 attack and defense, and when a dinosaur type is special summoned or summoned onto the field, the other player has to get a token. Where I will show you the token right now is one of these guys. So they're really helpful is because then they lose a spot. And then his second effect, I forgot to tell you guys that, is you throw a dinosaur type out of your hands, and he can turn all monsters into defense position, but only your opponents. And he can attack all of them once. And when they're in defense positioned, they lose. When he destroys them, that person loses 1,000 for each of them. Then I like running 3 of these fossil dig, because they could go through your deck to get a level 6 or lower type dinosaur from your deck, and these guys can get really anybody. Mostly what I like to get a lot is this guy because he's very useful once again. And you have to have 3 in here because they're really good. And always have 3 of these. To get your world card out faster. And so I should be running 2 of these, but I only have 1 at this time. Pretty much, you banish 1 dinosaur type and one normal type monster from your deck, and send it to the banish them, and you can summon a level 7 or lower type dinosaur. Then pretty much what I like banishing is him, and sorry guys, I meant to say undinosaur type, and him. Pretty much remember what his effect is. You can send this monster. This monster is banished. You can bring him back and special summon him. So, and I like using Golden Sarcophagus in this deck because his effect is when he's banished. And this card, this says you can select a card in your deck and banish it. Means you're pretty much banishing him for that turn, and he's been special summoned because of this card. And that's really used to bring him out quicker. Then I have 3 of these, just these free B cards because I really didn't have anything else. I have Lightning Vortex because it's just very useful to destroy other monsters if I don't have any stronger. MST for back card, and this destroys a trap and a spell, and it's just really useful to destroy back cards too. So for your traps is, I personally just use these because I think they're very helpful for my deck. I use 3. I use a Mirror Force that helps me just in case if anything happens. I use Magical Cylinders because if I don't have a strong enough monster, it can send it back and he can take it. Then this, you throw out 1 dinosaur out in your hand, and you can bring back a dinosaur in your grave. But that card stays there. When it's destroyed, that monster goes with that card. And then onto your extra deck. So, like how I said, you need to have 3 of these guys because they are very useful. Remember, they have to go with your world card. Then I have just random cards like 39 Utopia. He helps a lot. I have just the random cards like this. 2 level 4s for 26. That's just for power. This is 2 level 2s, and if you have 2 of the baby eggs out, you can summon him. I know he really doesn't do a lot. It's just I use him as for power. So one of the main monsters I like using in this deck are these 2. These 2 XYZs. They're 2 level 4 dinosaur type monsters. Then it's pretty much, they're really useful. I like using them because they're 24, and that's better having higher on there. Then that's pretty much it, guys. And thank you for everything, watching, and goodbye.